All right, hey, I'm Brandon, and this is my, if not beautiful, burly assistant Taylor. We're gonna do day one, starting with the air squat. So Taylor, we're gonna do the air squat. It's probably the most foundational movement that you can do as an athlete. We squat a lot in CrossFit, and we do that because it works the most muscles in the best areas of your body, the most foundational area of your body. Lots of legs going on here, but the driver of the force for a lot of things you do. So if we have a good air squat, we're gonna have a good everything. So let's work on it a little bit. Starts with shoulder width feet, roughly. This depends a little bit on body type, but we'll go with this textbook to start. Toes mostly forward, although a little bit out's okay. Our first job here is we're gonna scoot our hips back. I'll demonstrate it and then I'll have you try a few. You're gonna scoot our hips back and go down real deep, stand back up. So my hands go out for balance here because I'm throwing my weight this way, so I kind of want to counterbalance that. And then back up. What I want you to do is do that, scoot your hips back, and get down below parallel. Below parallel is the safest place for your knees and also the strongest place. It works the full range of motion, so you're not going to leave any muscle groups behind, and your ligaments are actually strongest in this position and this position. So if we're changing directions midway all the time, it's gonna put some tension on those ligaments that we don't want, and your knees will not like you. Lots of people don't like squats so much because their knees start hurting. So I don't want to squat, they hurt, it hurts my knees. Well, you just got to do it the right way, and it's actually the best thing for your knees. So shoulder width feet, we got this. Below parallel means the hip crease below the top of the knee. It's tough for a lot of people, but we'll see what you got, and then we'll make some corrections. So give me 5 of those.
All right.
Good? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, getting pretty close to parallel there. Yeah, you're like right on parallel, so bring it down just a tiny bit. Good. Good. How's that feel?
Feels okay.
Tight
Feels
anywhere?
A little tight.
Really tight?
On my hips.
Right
I'd
here?
say. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's work on that. So shoulder width feet is usually pretty good. In your case, maybe let's try just an inch out from that.
Okay.
Let's just make room for our legs past our pelvis.
Sounds good.
And as we go down, I want you to do something. Twist your feet into the ground. It's gonna be this motion with your foot. And if my feet were slippery, it would look like this.
Okay.
But they're stationary. What that's gonna do is tighten up the joints and ligaments here, tighten up everything and give you a little bit of torque. What it's gonna look like is your knees are gonna go out a little bit. Again, making room for your femur to pass by your pelvis. So as you go down, if you keep your knees out, you'll have a little bit more room there. Your hip flexors won't bump up. It kind of feels like stuff is hitting stuff, right? So we just want to make room for it. In addition to that, keep your weight on your heels rather than up on your toes. You were sneaking up onto your toes just a little bit. So let's try and shift that weight backwards and see what we got. So give me 5 more with that in mind. Below parallel. Let's do it. Nice, a lot better. Feel a little bit looser?
Yeah, it feels like there's more room down there.
Yeah, cool. Good. Yep. The feet are staying onto the ground, so that's awesome. No heel lifting off. Yeah. See the knees kind of wobbling there? That's you losing that torque, losing that twist. So really keep on that twist on the way down, on the way up, everything. Good. Nice. What's that for? That's good for now. Okay, one more thing we're gonna hit on this, and then we're gonna move on. And that's the angle of, or the flatness of your back. Just make sure to keep the chest upright. You don't have to be perfectly vertical. That depends on torso length, femur to tibia ratio and stuff. So what we're gonna do is just keep an upright, strong back. So don't let it cave in at all. You wanna maintain your spinal curvature. No accentuation of it in either direction. So that's done with tight abs. So if you keep a tight core, while you're doing these things, it'll be safer for you in the long run, especially if we load up weight on top of that. So let's see, let's just do 3 this time.
Okay.
Maintaining all the stuff we did before, keep that torque on, that twist. Good. Back looks flatter. Good job. Cool. On your way up, on the next one, tighten up your butt.
Okay.
Like you're picking up a quarter from the ground with the
Okay.
cheeks.
Got it. Done that.
It's kind of weird, yeah. Good. Yep, one more. Make it a little quicker. Good. Yeah, sweet. We corrected some stuff. Got the weight on the heels. Got your knees open.
Feels
Feels a
good.
lot looser.
Feels good.
Cool. Okay, so now we're gonna do a front squat. We've worked on the air squat, the foundational movement of fitness, arguably, and now we're gonna change it just a little bit, and we're gonna do a front squat. When we do a front squat, we add weight forward of our normal center of gravity. So an air squat, our center of gravity may be here. Front squat, we're loading it forward just a little bit. It's gonna demand more torso strength, and it looks a little bit different. So Taylor, grab this. This can be done with a lightweight. This is a 15-pound bar. We also have PVC pipes back there that we use oftentimes for front squats. I like to have a light bar if possible because it simulates, it's weight. So it'll simulate a front squat better than an empty bar. A PVC pipe will. Not empty bar, I mean a PVC. This is an empty bar and we're okay with that. Okay, so this is gonna be just outside shoulder width and I want you to get it onto your shoulders here. Nice. A good way to test that is if you hang it here, maybe you can wiggle your thumbs and get it right about where you need. We're gonna get it up onto your shoulders here. So a lot of people are gonna be really tight in the wrist, the forearm, the tricep, the back. There's a lot of different issues going on with that, but it's gonna prevent you from getting elbows up high. I'll tell you why that's important in a minute, but just know that you may have tightness somewhere and that's normal. You wanna fight it, but it's normal to have some of that. It's not normal to stay with it though. So this bar in a front squat needs to be touching the shoulders, the deltoids, your massive deltoids, and your clavicle. And if it's touching your neck, that's okay. Don't choke yourself, of course, but if it's touching your neck, you wanna aim for something really high here. You don't need a full grip on the bar. You can release that a little bit and have a pinky maybe just touching the bottom. But you want your elbows really high, so let's get those as high as we can. Boom. And now we're at the top of our squat, tight glutes. And I want you to do the same thing that we did before. Below parallel, initiate with the hips, weight on the heels, twisting the feet into the ground. All of those same rules apply. The difference is something's happening up in your upper body. So now you have to combine all of that stuff neurologically, and it's a little bit more complex. But let's see 5 of those from you, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more. That's pretty good, keep going. Nice. Okay. Is that 4, 5? Okay. Pretty good. You have the principles from the air squat and you transferred those over really well. The new stuff we got to work on just a little bit. So below parallel, I see you twisting into the ground, adding some torque on those knees. So now with this, let's get into this front rack position it's called. Make sure that's solid. So it's touching your neck just a little bit on the deltoids, on the clavicle. Elbows are up as high as you can, right? You might even twist the elbows in a little bit. That's okay. So right here, now we're gonna, as we go down, your elbows are gonna wanna drop. So I have elbows up here and they're perpendicular to my body, on my torso, but as my torso leans forward, because it has to, my elbows are gonna stay perpendicular, because you're reaching, but perpendicular to my torso means elbows down. So it's not perpendicular to your torso, it's parallel to the ground.
Okay.
So, elbows here, and as my torso dips, my elbows have to actually reach higher and higher the further down I go.
Okay.
So we'll get here, we'll get below parallel, and then I'm gonna drive with my elbows and stand back up. This is gonna pull this weight, which is now forward of my center of gravity. It's gonna pull it back, even just an inch. So it was here, now it's here. And that's gonna make all the difference as you're standing up, especially with weight on this bar. So let's do this. Let's do 3 this time. Good, we have contact. We have contact here. Elbows in front of the bar and reaching for as much height as you can. And let's go down. Good, back staying straight, looks good. Driving with the elbows, I like it. Okay. Good, heels are staying on the ground. Let's do a quicker one. Yeah, you got it. Looks good. Does that feel good?
Yeah, it felt good.
Cool, nice job. The reason that we do a front squat is because we can do clean and jerks. We can do different things when we have a bar out here. We can get stuff overhead. We can do a jerk and a push press, that sort of thing. We can also clean from the ground and get under it, and now it's in that front rack position. So there's some options we can do. We can use this as a tool to progress in other barbell movements, which are really key in producing power out of your body. So the front squat is a good transitional tool.